Time for another Dollar Tree sewing project. Woohoo! It has been brought to my attention that you'd like to see the full cost of items and the breakdown. So $6.25 total spent, but actual supplies used, I used about $2.52 worth. Here's what you need. 2 fat quarters, a fleece scarf for the lining. You're going to use some more of that fabric for your tabs and your lanyard pieces. Rip the zipper off your mesh laundry bags and then cut the hardware off of your lanyard. Okay, screenshot it. I'll wait. Go ahead. Okay, first step, we have to attach that main piece to the interfacing and quilt it together. And by quilt, I just mean sew straight lines. Like, this is not meant to be stressful. Just do whatever you want, as long as you're sewing something to hold the main piece to the interfacing. Look at that. Oh, that's so cute. Great. Now do it again on the other piece. Let's make some tabs. So 2 of these tabs are going to be for the end of your zipper, and you're going to fold it the hamburger way in half, and half again, like over on itself to conceal all those raw edges. The other one, you're going to do the hot dog way because you want it to be long, and I'll show you what we'll do with that in a second. Okay, head back to your sewing table. Now take the hamburger versions and attach them to the end of your zipper. So what this is going to create is like a zipper stopper, and you're just going to sew a straight line across the end of it. It's totally easy. You've got this. Trim off any little edges that are sticking out from the sides of the zipper tape like this, and then you're done with that part. Pick up the hot dog version. This is going to be what holds our hardware on the bag. So we're just going to top stitch both sides of this. That just means sewing close to the edge on each side. This holds it together and it also looks pretty. Fold that in half and you're going to baste it. And that just means putting a little temporary stitch on the end. So once you fold it over, take it to your machine, put a couple stitches in there, then you're done with that piece for the time being. Let's install our zipper. Now take your main piece pretty side up, put your zipper tape pretty side down, pin it or clip it across the top to hold it in place. It will be shorter than your main piece, and that's on purpose. Once you've got that all situated, lay your lining pretty side down on the zipper and add it to the clipped in pieces of fabric. Now, we're gonna sew it using our zipper foot. If you don't wanna use the zipper foot, don't. Just use whatever foot you want. Just get as close to the zipper as you can. Maybe take a deep breath before you do this if this is your first zipper. But most of all, believe in yourself because you can do this. Once you get that side sewn in, open it up, and we're just gonna top stitch right along that folded edge. And that's just a pretty decorative stitch that looks nice, but it also holds everything in place. Don't skip this step. You're never too good for a top stitch. Hey, guess what? You did 1/2. Now we just do the exact same thing on the other side. Lining, pretty side up, main piece, pretty side up, other main piece, pretty side down. It's like that's how your sandwich should look. And then sew that zipper just the same way you did the other zipper. Now you may have to lift your presser foot and move the zipper tab like I just did down so that you can keep sewing straight, and that's fine. So you back stitch at the end, open her up, and this is what it'll look like. You're doing great. Are you starting to get butterflies in your tummy yet? This is about the time of the project where I get really excited because you're almost done. Top stitch that other half and then take that little hot dog tab that we did a few steps ago and you're going to baste it on just the one layer, which is the main layer, and put it 1.5 inches down from the zipper. Time to close it up. Match your pretty sides of your main together and your pretty sides of your lining together and clip it around the perimeter, except for in the lining at the very bottom, leave about a 3-inch space where you're not going to sew. That's where you're going to turn the bag right side out, right here. Don't sew that. I sewed mine with a 1/4-inch seam allowance all the way around. When you get to those corners, just lift your presser foot, turn the work, presser foot back down, keep going. When you're done with that step, clip into your corners, just close up to the thread without cutting through it. This will help make your corners extra crispy. Then it's time to flip the bag right side out. So reach in there very carefully and just start pushing all of those corners out. You might want to grab a knitting needle and just gently poke the corners out so they're nice and crisp. Last step for the pouch, sew a tiny edge stitch right where that hole is in the lining. Use your fingers to push the corners of the lining into the bag, and then as far as the pouch goes, that's all she wrote. Now add your hardware onto the little tab that's sticking out from your bag. And now it's time to make the cutest little lanyard ever. I like to use a coordinating fabric, usually the lining fabric, and I will take my 2 strips, pretty sides together, and just sew a stitch along the short ends. Press that open, and then we're just gonna be folding the sides into the middle and then folding it over onto itself so it conceals all of those raw edges and creates a nice long strip. Before you go any further, load your hardware onto the lanyard and then sew your 2 other short ends together. Just open up those folds, sew it together, and then everything should fold right back together for you. Then you're just going to top stitch the right side and the left side of your lanyard because it looks pretty and it also holds everything together. I also like to sew just a little stitch right over the edge of that set hardware, and that holds it in place. Oh, hey, guess what? You're done. This little pouch is perfect for being on the go. It's great for a teacher's gift or a college student. Chapstick, ID, credit card, you're out the door. What do you think of my teeny lanyard zipper pouch? Like and follow for more.